Hello YouTubers, just a quick video on how to silicone your tub. If your tub silicone lines are moldy and or worn out and need general replacement, this video will show you how to go about doing that. Okay, on to the repair. Hi YouTubers. Alright, in order to perform this job, you'll need a spray bottle, and this spray bottle has water with diluted bleach inside it, a couple of rags, some water with a couple of drops of regular dishwasher detergent soap, some gloves, a small container where you can spray some of the water with detergent so you can dip your finger inside, silicone tube, and this is made specially for bathtubs, and it's mold free, and it's got a 30-minute water ready and a lifetime guarantee. So try to spend some decent money on getting 100% silicone, because that will make sure that it doesn't become moldy in any short length of time, maybe over 7 to 10 years, but not within a couple of years. Also, maybe if you don't have a tool to press the silicone in with, you can create your own tool with, say, a sheet of thin plastic, and this is just off of something we purchased, and I just keep this plastic hanging around to make any custom molds or silicone tools with. You'll need a knife, just a regular cutting knife, to cut the silicone tube tip, and you need a silicone gun, and you notice that this silicone gun has metal pin-like projection, and that helps you puncture it, and this one is not, so that you get a small amount of silicone pressure being built up into the tube so that it comes out more evenly. Okay, YouTubers, I got rid of most of the old mildewy silicone. I just used an X-Acto blade and a lot of elbow grease and removed it all. The second part of that process was to use the spray bottle that's filled with diluted bleach, and I just sprayed it thoroughly and wet it thoroughly, and I let it sit for 48 hours, and that step has already been complete. It's nice, white, and disinfected now. One step that I am gonna do that you may not necessarily need to do with your own project, and that is I'm going to take a rag and some isopropyl alcohol and just clean the area one last time before I apply the silicone, so that I'm 100% sure that there's no grease buildup, preventing a good adhesion. Okay, and so I'm just applying the isopropyl alcohol in the area that I'm going to be placing the silicone. And like I said, this is an added step, not necessary. So I'm just going to do the rest of this off camera and return back to you. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to open up a tube of silicone. I took the tip off, and as you can tell, it's not cut yet. Take a little bit of time. Try to cut it as small as you can. That's pretty small. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and as you can tell, that's a good size. I'm going to take the metal projector, I'm going to place it inside the silicone gun, and I'm going to break the seal. This is where the rag comes in handy. The tube goes inside the gun. The notches face downward, and it's locked, ready to go. As I had mentioned before, if you want a really clean, neat job, what I would suggest is getting an actual silicone beading tool. Like I said, I just make do with what things I have. Now, this is an exaggerated example. Now, if I was to use this tool, the silicone would be this thick, and that's a lot of silicone to be using on this tub. So if I use this corner, the silicone would be very, very thin. So I don't want that. So what I did was I just took a notch out of here, and now the silicone's going to be about that width. And you see that there? Okay. So then you just drag this along the edge of the wall and the tub, and you will be able to get a clean silicone bead across the way. Okay, so I'm just clicking in the silicone. I'm giving it a generous amount of bead. And as you can tell, it's coming along. And as it's progressing, I continue to press the trigger of the silicone gun. Oh, got a little bit more there. Now, don't be too worried about appearance just yet. You want to just put a fairly generous amount for now and let the beading tool do its thing, or your finger if you choose not to use the beading tool. And if you recall, I cut the tube at an angle, and that helps facilitate the angle with which I'm putting the bead in. If I had cut it flat, it wouldn't be as easy to put it down into this crevice. Okay, and I'll just do the rest offline. Okay, I just finished, and just a tip, make sure you put a little bit of tissue along the tip of the silicone tube, because sometimes the back pressure continues to let some of the silicone out. Using a little bit of gentle pressure, I'm going to apply it to the silicone just so that it presses down on the silicone and provides good adhesion. A little bit of tissue, like my finger on it. Okay, and I'll do the rest off camera. So now I'm using the silicone beading tool, and I'm just rubbing it against the wall and the tub. And as you can tell, it's taking off the areas which are higher or lower than the tool will allow. And I'll do the rest off camera. A lot of silicone that came off. It's very helpful to have the gloves on and lots of tissue or rags, so you can just keep yourself quite neat, and also not get all of the silicone over your tools and or your fingers. Okay, and now if you look there, it's not as perfect as it could be, but don't worry too much about that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spray it with the soapy water. You can see here. I'm going to spray it all around. And what that's going to do is it's going to help me smooth it out without it being too noticeable. Okay, so I'm using the little, I guess, cap that I had, and I just put a little soapy water in there, getting my finger nice and lubricated, and just ever so gently slide it across. And you see how I'm smoothing it out? That's what you should be doing. And again, make sure that you wipe your finger, make it soapy, and then start again. Now, of course, you're going to leave a ridge, a bit of a ridge, but don't worry too much about that. We'll take care of that in the next pass. Just remember to keep your finger clean and keep wetting it. Okay, and I'll do the rest off camera. Alright, now I've gone through it one time, but as you can see there's a little bit of a ridge here. And what I'm doing is I'm using my finger, I've made sure it's clean, a little bit of soapy water, and just along the ridge I run my finger, and as you can tell I'm smoothing it out as I run it along the ridge, okay? And make sure my finger remains clean. Ugh. And if you get a little bit of a wave, just run your finger around it, make sure there's plenty of soap on it, and it will smooth out. The silicone, while not normally forgiving, is extremely forgiving when you have the detergent and soapy water with you. So that's the trick to making sure that you are able to get the silicone to do as you want it and not as it normally works. Okay, and I'll do the rest off camera. Alright, now I've basically done most of the siliconing, and it's not the greatest 100% perfect job, but it is a lot better than the mildewed silicone that was there before. If you just look in that corner there, there was some grout missing, so I just filled it up with silicone about 2 tiles up. I mean, typically you would want to regrout that, but I guess I'm doing more of a remedial job, and that can wait till another time. Okay, and thanks, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you like it, and thumbs down if you didn't like it. Bye-bye.